Hello everyone, welcome to another edition of Big Talk here on Global Television. A pleasure to have you join us tonight to take a look at another dimension of political development in the country. Yesterday we saw a trending video of the governor of Rivers State reacting to the fact that the pro-Wike lawmakers are giving him ultimatum and deadline for him to appear before their own house, to present yet again a budget. This time around, the governor is talking very tough and, of course, facing them squarely, insisting that they are out of office. Let's give you a clip on the reaction of the governor on that invitation by pro-Wike lawmakers to the governor to appear before them to present another budget of the Rivers State. Take a listen to the reaction.
People that are delusional, They think we are still sleeping. Let me tell you people so that they will hear wherever they are. I wanted to help them. Sincerely, because I know them. And I've said it before. These are people that I've helped. I pay their children's school fees. I pay their house rent. I know somebody said, I didn't know my father was a sheriff. My father was already a sheriff officer from 2005 when I started working in finance. So if he says my father was a sheriff officer, yes, my father was a sheriff officer. Before I started working here, I was even a sheriff manager. So I wasn't a beggar. I had enough that I could eat and extend to people. So if you say, I didn't know he was a sheriff, I was a sheriff manager in my own corner. So I wanted to help them. We all knew what happened when they crossed. And how did they cross? Because of our God. For them to make that mistake. They are gone and they are gone. Now, let me tell you. When I wanted to help them, I accepted to help them because what is there? We all want. We'll disagree to agree. They thought they are smart. What is holding them is the declaration of their seat vacant that was done in December 2023. That is what is holding them. So they think, well, I know they don't know anything. They think I'm like them. We're not doing any budget to nullify that decision. It is what will send them to their villages. For me, as I'm talking to you, I have started preparing my budget for 2025, which I'm going to present very soon. Don't allow anybody to deceive you. They can come to the media and dance. When they go behind, they cry. It is the truth. We don't know how to dance.
That's the reaction of Governor Fubara on the issues of the House of Assembly, where the lawmakers are loyal to the former governor of Rivers State. On the fact that the court actually gave them an injunction to return back to form a quorum of maintaining status in terms of the fact that yet the court is not recognizing you as the members of the House of Assembly, but they have asked that all parties must put to rest these issues. But on the grounds that the fact that they are still holding brief, that they are members of the House of Assembly, they have asked the governor to appear before their very house this time to present the budget of 2024. And that's the governor reacting very bitterly on that invitation by the pro-Wike lawmakers. But away from that, let's take a look at what happened earlier today, where the Supreme Court has declared that it's unconstitutional for states to owe local government funds. And this time, the National Union of Local Government Employees has said that over 50% of Nigeria's problems will be addressed following the local government autonomy ruling by the Supreme Court. The president said this in an interview in Lagos today, reacting to the judgment. And according to him, that the autonomy is for the good of the nation, that 50% of the many challenges we face as a nation will be curtailed. That was the reaction of the president of Niger. Tonight, we'll be taking a look at the political implication of this autonomy, what it means for Nigerians, what it means for the state, what it means for the local government. We're breaking this down side by side and see if this will do us good. And just as Noga said, that 50% of our problem will be solved. We'll look at how this means for us as a country and the development of this nation. But for now, let's go on a break, and once we return, I'll be speaking. My guest, of course, will be joining us to add voice to these conventions and giving us a perspective to this political implication of the judgment today. Do stay with us.
Headlines, scores, breaking news and commentaries on sporty events. Talking with the biggest players, strikers, and about the slam dunks and goals, stunning saves, near misses and upsets. Let's talk about the greatest home runs, comebacks, knockdowns and victories. Talk sports with the king of sports, Anthony Momodu. Weekdays, 10 a.m. Don't miss out.
Beautiful work from the wingers.
And thanks everyone for staying with us on the program Big Talk. My guest tonight is the group managing editor of Time Nigeria magazine, a practitioner, a PR practitioner, and the national secretary of Nigeria Guild of Investigative Journalists. Of course, is live on the program to join us to discuss. Abdurrahman Alegan. Good to have you join us on the program, and welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yes. Let's start with the statement of Nauge that, I mean, that 50% of Nigeria's problem will be addressed, will be solved by this judgment today. Does it look like this is what Nigeria were waiting for, or democracy were waiting for? What does it really mean for them to make that bold statement?
Yeah, thank you. You see, that statement is the statement that all Nigerians has been waiting for, listening to. You know, local government autonomy did not started with what we are discussing today. Back there, even during the colonial era, you discover that for colonial government, for them to effectively administer Nigeria, they adopted native authority. And as a result of that native authority, in terms of economic, in terms of social activities, it helps them. And they were able to harness our economic potential to the betterment of our people. Now, it started as in 1914. After 1914, when the native authority started, they wanted to be developing how they can use the native people to better the life of Nigeria. They were looking for how to improve this. There was a reform in 1950. After that, there was another local government reform in 1966. There was another one in 1998. So this is to tell you that the issue of local government autonomy did not started today. But it is this problem started with 1999 Constitution, when in an attempt to push more fund to local government for even development, That was when the issue of joint allocation came in. And with the joint allocation, it was expected that the governors will use the lump sum of resources so that it can be allocated judiciously to where it is needed for even development at the local government areas. But it was misused. You know, when you give people an inch, they take a length. So that is the problem. But with this present development, to me, it is a triumph for the grassroots. And with what the president of local government, Nolge, is saying, if we look at it critically, let's even take it from the security challenges that we are having in Nigeria. When local government authority has, as in the autonomy of their resources, they can actually channel those resources to where they are needed. For example, one of the major reasons why this issue of insurgency, kidnapping is because of lack of, employment. Gone are the days in the 80s when the local government have the autonomy. You discover that economic activities of every local government operates at optimal level. When the allocation is released at local government in the 80s, you discover that whatever that you are selling, you will know that the allocation has been released, because everybody that is partaking in one economic activity or the other knows that somebody, civil servants or local government workers, the moment they get salary, they come to the market. Apart from that, the local government authority, they are the one that know where all these all the area that needed to be addressed. They know they are familiar with their challenges, and they know the people that they can entrust those resources on their hand, so as to affect the needed development in the local government. Apart from that, we discover that one of our challenges is lack of fund, because before now, the local government, a chairman of local government is not in charge of the local government fund as a result of this joint allocation account. They are the will of their governors. It is what governors give to them, and the moment they pay salary, there is nothing the funds can do in the society. Like I said, in the 80s, you would see projects.
Some project carried out by local government.
Drainage. You will see cleaning of markets. You will see, even local government, they used to have farm of their own.
And that was encouraging production.
Are you getting it? And when the youth, when they have something doing at their local government, the issue of going to state capital or urban area will drastically reduce, because there was nothing at the local government level. Again, this naturally pushed young able men to the urban city. And at the end of the day, when they don't have much or anything to offer or to do in the urban city, the next thing is involving crimes and criminality. So what the local government, the president of Nolge was saying, you discover that he is saying the right thing, that it is going to solve 50% of our challenges. Even me, I'm looking at it that is more than 50%. Because when they have their fund in their hand, they know the problem, they know the challenges that they are facing in their localities, and they know how to address it. So that is the reason why I'm alluding to that fact.
All right. I mean, let's identify the challenges to this issue. I mean, because well defined is a good move. Even the president had endorsed this. I'm going to take a clip of the president after now. But let's take a look at issues of capacity building.
Yeah.
There are consideration and concern, the fact that we do not have the good man. To your assessment, I don't know if the quarters that are actually making this argument are right. Capacity of chairmen, capacity of individuals who are going into this office, who are managing these resources, who are sitting down at the face of the local government. Are you bothered about the capacity we have at the local government, where there is a need to start, critically looking at those things? Because we do not want a situation where we've seen where governors at their state lacks capacity to deliver the mandate or to judicially manage whatever is within their disposal for delivery. What's your concern about that, and what do you think can be done urgently?
You see, in terms of capacity building, it is left to the localities. Because, one, it was because they are the whims and caprices of governors. Governors just handpick who they wanted. Not that that person is better than any other person that they are maybe contesting for that position. When it is no longer in the hands of governors, now, the local government will now look critically into the personality of who is becoming our chairman. His pedigree, maybe his track record. If his track record is something that the locality can accept, because it is not government that is, governors that is deciding for the people. It is now the people are deciding for themselves. So they can actually choose who is better, who has that capacity that can deliver in that mandate. So in fact, autonomy, the local government autonomy that we are enjoying today, honestly, is the problem. When we lose it, that's mark the starting point of Nigeria's problem, because it was no longer a merit issue again. It was no longer capacity again. It is who Mr. Governor wanted. Either he can deliver in that capacity, he doesn't care. Even to an extent that a governor wanted to bring his own in-law after his time has lapsed in the office. He wanted to bring his own in-law. So, are you telling me that among the contestants, among the aspirants, there is nobody that can deliver on that mandate than his in-law? Definitely the answer is no. And if care is not taken, it's going to be hereditary. And that is why, this judgment, honestly, is a triumph to the grassroots. Because one of the reasons why we need a Democrat in the affairs of our country is this. If you look at President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, if you look at his record via democratic agitation, this is going to be one of the biggest legacy is going to bequeathed on Nigeria, because this singular judgment is going to have positive effect on the lives of the grassrooters. So that is it.
All right. Let's get to the issues of equitable distribution of resources, because this is about over 774 local government we have in the country.
Yeah.
and we've been struggling and grappling with the issues of distribution in the state. Sometimes this other state argues that we have more allocations put to this other state and all of that. Are you bothered that this may also be another dimensions of argument over where some local government may not have equal distribution of resources, where we have that instances within the state operations where we have locations more from the federal government to the state. What's your concern about distribution?
Yeah, if you look at the system of resources distribution or allocation regarding local government authorities, you discover that it is not by 774 local government. There are so many things that is being considered before the resources are allocated to local government. One, they consider population. They consider economic activity. They even equally consider what is your local government making into the purse of the government. So it is not allocating resources based on their number. There are so many factors that are being considered before that allocation, resources are allocated. For example now, let me take my state as an example. In Kwara State, Ilorin West happens to be the largest local government. So when it comes to the issue of resources allocation, you cannot allocate the same resources to a local government that has more than 1 million in terms of population to another local government that has maybe 500, 600,000 in terms of population. So the authority that are allocating resources, they put some factors into consideration before they allocate resources into the local government. It is not about the equal distribution. And what they wanted to achieve by bringing this issue of joint allocation account was that they discovered that there are some local governments that in terms of development, they are lag behind. That is the reason why the joint allocation came up. But the same problem that led to the establishment of joint allocation still persists up to today. So now that you have your local government, you have your population, you have your economic resources, it is now left to you to harness these resources alongside with your population to develop your local government. So the issue of resource allocation is not going to be equal, because there are so many factors that are being considered before the resources
don't
are
you think
allocated.
why the governors were fighting for, they resisted the issues of autonomy, granting allocation to a local government, was probably because of their concern about the state not being empty in terms of power allocation. Because you understand the reason why some governors who has this allocation of local government, chief security of the state, is because of local government. Take away local government. Don't you feel that is an indication of weakening the state? What is your concern, and how do you think that this can be married along? Because without the local government, we can't have state.
Yeah, you see, either a country or a state or a local government is just like a business venture.
It's a subnational.
Yeah, it's just like a business venture in your state. In fact, to me, it will reawaken the sensibilities of governors to look critically into their state. What are the resources available in their state? How can they harness these resources so as to affect the development in that state? The reason why governors are not thinking outside the box is that the belief is that either we like it or not, the allocation is coming. So as a result of this, they neglect some areas that they can actually work on that can bring enough resources for this, into the system. So that is why I said the issue of resources, it is how you want to run your state. Just look at, I think, is it Abia State Governor? Look at what is happening in that state in terms of harnessing the resources. We can say maybe because he's still having the local government fund. Now, if somebody can go that mile with local government fund or without local government fund, if there is idea, if there is innovation, honestly, no state will lag behind when it comes to development.
Don't you think it will develop a kind of conflict between governors and local government chairmen?
Yes. See, there should be, it is expected, there should be rancor. Anywhere that there is no rift, there is no rancor, there can't be any development. The reason is that now, as a local government chairman, when you want to demonstrate your capacity in your local government, and you are looking at it that you are looking at the future that you are a potential governor of the state, you will do your best in putting your local government in a proper perspective. So it will serve as credentials for you anytime you are looking to the next level in terms of
so
political.
So can call him as a project of a particular local government.
That is just it. And if you look at your local government as a chairman, you are from that soil. People, you are known by people. People elected you, not that somebody appointed you. And the people that elected you, they know that maybe you have 3 years, 4 years, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years.
3 years.
3 years. Now, you want to contest either for your second term or for another House of Assembly. You have to deliver. You have to show them because they know you, you know them.
All right. I mean, we'll have to go on a break right now. And once we return, we'll be taking a look at what the president has reacted in terms of the reason why he's backing the local government autonomy. This will react swiftly after the course of this break. Please stay with us.
It's time for sports' biggest moments on global television. The headlines, scores, breaking news, and commentaries on sporty events. Talking with the biggest players, strikers, and about the slam dunks and goals, stunning saves, near misses, and upsets. Let's talk about the greatest home runs, comebacks, knockdowns, and victories. Talk sports with the king of sports, Anthony Momadou. Weekdays, 10 a.m. Don't miss out.
Beautiful work from the wingers.
Hello, children. Gather around, let me tell you a story. Do you know that stories have a way of captivating the minds of children, bringing fun and imagination to teach them morals? Join Sharona J as she takes you to explore the thrilling and exciting world of storytelling.
I'll be sharing with you our next interesting story.
Tune in every Saturday on Global Television, time 5:30 p.m.
Many thanks everyone for still staying with us. Before the Supreme Court judgment today, the president in the video was seen reacting and supporting the move to grant full allocation of funds from the federal government to the local government. Take a listen on his reasons and why he's backing this autonomy.
Dear brothers and sisters, yes, I am in charge here today, but you are running a constitutional democracy. I will put to you to summon the governors summon them, call them up. I'm doing my best to improve the revenue of the country and giving them their dues. But they must equally be sympathetic to the populace, and they must consider the need of the local people. People reside in the local government. People are in the local community. That is where they reside. That is where they feed. That is where they garden. That is where they cook. That's where they farm. If the local government are not free, and leaders don't hang on to the number. We have 774 local government. It's just a number. Is it effective? Is it reaching the real people? Who is being held accountable for this money? Maybe we should look and recalibrate. One version that was good 4 years ago might not be good today. And when we won the votes, we go to the locals. When we get the vote, we move to Abuja. I think we have to collectively join hands.
And these are the words of the president, that the local government are very closer to the people, that they should rather give power to the local government. But there's a lot of worry where Nigerians, of course, many persons who are making this argument are concerned. Are very particular about the fact that some local government will underperform, and this may also give back, some reasons to governor to say, go back to your local government chairman. Your local government chairman have allocation. Are you concerned about some fact that we may see likely that some local government may abandon some of these issues where we've already seen that in the state? How can we begin to do this? Because we've seen some governors will begin to abandon some projects and some things that they would probably ought to have done, in the respective local government on the grounds that the allocation is being sent to these local government. What do you think we can do to manage these both interests?
Yeah, you see, the resources, it's still about resources. When the resources are allocated to local government, like the state, they used to have state executive meeting. Federal government they used to hold NEC meeting. The same thing will go down to the local government. It's about the people. Local government has chairman as the leader, has councillor.
Yeah.
Among the councillor, we have supervising councillor.
Like commissioners.
Yes, it is just the same way the administration of state the state is being administered is just the same way the local government will be administered. When it comes to resources, they sit down in the round table, to dissect what their challenges are. Yeah, there may be not enough fund to power the local government. So the same way, the states are still agitating for more funds. So, but the beauty of it is that if a local government give a contract to one of the son of the soil, you don't have reason not to execute. Unlike governors can allocate, can give contract even to their girlfriends. Either he does it or she did not, it is still holding the haze. But when the government is now closer to the people, if you are handling any contract in my locality and I know that you are the one that the contract was given to, I can challenge you.
You have to deliver.
Yes, because he is from the soil. He has no reason not to deliver, because if he does that one very well, there is every possibility for him to get another one.
More reward for good work.
Sure, you understand? So there is no difference. It's just the same way, because resources cannot be enough, even for Nigeria. We'll continue to look for more resources, but it will now brings in idea, innovation. We now look critically into our localities. What can we do to get revenue so that we can use to develop our area? You equally discover that there will be competition among those chairmen. If this local government is performing, there is no reason why the other local government will not perform, because his people will be telling him that go to so place, there is development there. Go to so place, there is development. Why are you not performing? So it is, in fact, it is going to place the people, the leaders, into the hands of the led. They can assess them. Their assessment will be very, very easy for the people, so that they don't have reason not to perform. If funds is inadequate, they begin to put their thinking cap. What can they do to get more revenue? And you will even discover that with this autonomy, you discover that the chairmen of local government will begin to look into their community. What can they do? Where can they look in? Either agriculture, either maybe any economic activity. In Nigeria, we are so blessed. The only thing is we lack visionary and committed leaders.
Just to cut it short, because the fact that we are, in reality, we are living in this country. And of course, this development, which is a welcome development, also I'm not trying to put in the fact that it's not one, but we have to carefully look at where we should prepare so that we can as well be alert to tackle them as they come. We've seen local government chairmen leave their local government to live in the cities of their state. Yeah. They have abandoned, for instance, in Akwa Ibom, the belt lodges state government had belt lodges for local government, chairman and executive, the secretary, the vice chairman, and the councillors to reside. But we've seen them gradually abandoning. They had to stay for the 1 week of commissioning, and afterwards, they went back to the cities to stay in their big houses and all of that. Because the essence and why the president is arguing about autonomy is to be closer to the people. We've seen councillors leave their villages, leave their wards they are close to stay in the capital city. what do you think now that more money is coming into the covers of the local government, where to make the local government chairman to be more richer than he was years back on this practice of joint account? What is your concern about that?
Yes. You see, when there is no activity in all these local government areas, there is nothing you want to do there. Then the situation was that when the allocation comes to the state government, government efforts, they just handpick, as in minute fraction of that fund to chairman or chairman. And this fund, after the salary have been paid, it can't do anything again. So, and the pressure is in that locality. That is the reason why you see chairmen running from their locality to city center. Because, one, there are so many responsibilities that people will be bringing to them. The funds that is available to them cannot cater for the needs of these people. So those pressure is what is actually making them not to feel comfortable in their locality. But now, if they have access to the fund,
there are more pressure. I mean, there's already a futuristic more pressure on the local government now that we are granting the fund.
Yes. That's why the issue of capacity comes in. The issue of integrity comes in. The issue of accountability comes in. If so amount is allocated to local government A, the people of the local government know they have the figure. They can easily look at that figure compared to the project that is on grant. So they can easily assess their chairman. They can easily query their chairman. They can easily challenge their chairman that this is the so amount that comes from the federal government to our local government. So what are you placing? What are you bringing on the table? Is not measure up. So, you know, the issue of accountability is coming in. So that is the issue. Secondly, when they have access to their fund, you will discover that the economic activity will take place, will come up in that localities. Because before, there was no fund, there was no money. Even if they identify any project, no fund to execute it. If they want to build market, when there is no fund, how would they build any market? If they want to build any school where there is no fund, because if a contract is allocated, is given to a contractor maybe to build a school, the contractor will get the service of bricklayers, the service of the carpenter, the service of those who are going to supply the furnitures. So with this, there is economic activity that is going on in that locality. So the pressure will come. That is where the issue of capacity comes in.
All right. The rush by the federal government to take the state governors to court, they are the ones that instigated this against the state governors. Does it look like, because there are more trouble on the federal, where a lot of persons have been, hammering on the federal government delivery, the economic crisis, the situation, the cost of food, the living, and all of those things. Does it make us, the federal government are trying to push less pressure to the local government by granting this to them, knowing fully well that these councillors are close to the people? I've happened to interact with some lawmakers, even in the National Assembly. The demands, they said, that even when they know that there are responsibilities to make law, oversight functions and all of that, the more calls they receive from the constituents, what to eat, to pay fees, to go to hospitals and all of those things. It looks that many projects, many things that were meant to do by the federal government have been, the negligence by the federal government has caused some of this pressure, which has affected with the National Assembly. So now that we are creating an avenue for for local government free autonomy, don't you feel that the federal government are trying to push some of their responsibility back to the grassroots?
See, it's not, I'm not looking
Put that in perspective without defending the federal government.
Yes, I'm not looking at it in that direction. The direction at which I am looking at it is, if the fund is with the local government chairman, the issue of the needs, what do we really need in our locality? What are our challenges? Then we come to a round table to discuss it. I have witnessed a situation whereby a local government chairman, anytime the resources come from the governor, he puts it on the table. This is the figure. What and what can this do? And by the time they pay salary, they discover that the leftover cannot do anything. Now, the federal government is interested in the local government autonomy. It will achieve something. One, it has brought government government to the people for you to decide, identify your problem, proffer necessary solution to your problem. So, if we weigh it, we discover that it is better that government goes back to the people at the grassroots, so that the issue of pressure, the pressure will come. There is no doubt about that.
But there's also a call for them to fix the economy. So
that is just it. That is just it. But, we cannot be talking about economy when there is no resources. Now, the resources have been made available for you at the grassroots. The bulk of the pressure that goes to federal government, that federal government succeeded in pushing to the local government, you discover that it will be lesser, because there is no way the economic activity will not take place in local government area. There is no way the infrastructural development will not take place in local government area. There is no way social interaction will not take place in the local government area. And by doing this, it will relieve the pressure that goes either to the state government or to the federal government. And the beauty of it is that the federal government will be able to see what really concerns local government. The state government will be able to see what is their responsibility. Then the local government will equally be able to identify their challenges and how they are going to address it. So that is the beauty of it. Pressure will come. There is no way. There is no doubt about that. But how we can get strength from that pressure, how we can annex the pressure and make it a strength in our locality. That is the issue.
It looks as if your local government should come and get you to be the chairman of the local government because of this plan and capacity to deliver. But let's as we are beginning to round it up, the issue of godfatherism. It may look as if this may also cause a lot of rise again in the local government to start having these issues, because some of the challenges we have in the state has been godfatherism. We've seen where the fact that a lot of persons have been fighting these development in their state, fighting godfatherism. As we round up the program right now, what's the take and what should we look forward to in managing godfatherism in local government, where sometimes we've seen local government chairman takes allocation from their local government to go and give the leader of their local government. I mean, the whole allocation of the local government from the state, sometimes they take directly to the leader of the local government. Baba, leader, this is what has come into our local government. What can we do? The leader now shares it to every sector or wherever he wants it to go. We must begin to see ahead of this so that we can address this issue when it arises.
You see, what gives credence to non-performance of local government administration is the issue of this godfatherism. And I want to say this clearly. There is no way we can erase the issue of godfatherism in our politics. There is no way. It's like an institution. And you equally discover that the issue of godfatherism is why the crisis is coming up, maybe from one governor to the one that succeeded him. Practical example is that of Rivers State. Not only Rivers State, even in Kano State, between the Kwankwanso and this Ganduje, there is always the issue of godfatherism. But you can manage your godfather is by bringing people in. Even at the end of the day, look at what happened in Edo. That at the end of the day, the so-called godfather has no face any longer in that state until now that alliances are beginning to come up. So the issue of godfatherism, it is part of politics. In a family, you have father. In a community, we have leader. In the church, we have pastor. In the mosque, we have imam. So somebody must lead.
But there should be a limit to some of this.
That is just it. That is why I said the issue of capacity. Can you deliver? If you can deliver, you should be able to strike a balance between your godfather and the state. I want to cite an example. In Lagos, everybody knows that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is the political godfather in Lagos. But when Raji Fashola became governor of Lagos State, when they bring the issue of politics to him, he tells them that go and meet Baba Tinubu. But when it comes to the issue of administration, come and meet me. You can see, capacity in that wise. Anything that has to do with politics, he directs them to the godfather. That is the person that made him. So somebody must make somebody.
All right.
And your strength in managing your godfather is the issue.
Right. I may say that it's going to be a big one for local government, because when it has to do with the fact that there are a lot of orientation that must be carried on so that the people can also be aware of the role they have to play to rescue this autonomy that have been granted to them. It's a good thing, but they must be able, because we know the reality of Nigeria, things sometimes get bad, even when we look at it in the good note. But we are seeing differently that this time around, a lot of development may come to local government area in respect to the fact that they ought to deliver on the mandate and see what they can do to develop the different local government we have in Nigeria. A big one for the local government and also a big one for the president, because it seems the president was very particular about this. So much thanks to the National Secretary of NGIJ, Abdulhamid Alagan, of course, a PR practitioner and an investigative journalist, for joining us to discuss this way forward. But we'll get to see what would definitely happen, just as we've outlined, the dangers and the benefit of this autonomy to the local government. For now, thanks so much for joining us on Big Talk tonight. Looking forward to seeing you again tomorrow, where we'll take on another discussions on the program. My name is Edikan Michael. God bless Nigeria.
Thank you.